What's up, YouTube? It's your host, King Gio. What's up? It took me a little bit long because I was trying to figure out how to do this backdrop. To be honest with you, it says put up a well lit green room. Green screen, and it is. Well, I only have two lights. One, two, three lights on. One, two, three. But how much lit can it be? How much more lit than it wants? Anyway, welcome to my channel. This is King Gio. I'm your host, and this is my show, the King Gio Show. Now, before you guys, hey, how you doing, Travis? How was your? Before I go into this, let me do this first, guys. Thank each and every one of you guys for subscribing. Thank you for guys for asking for the Delta. This is what this is all about, the Delta agility test. If no one has subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so and hit that notification button and let you know when I, King Gio, will upload a video of coming up with an event or something like that. So today we're going to talk about the agility test, the Delta Airlines agility test. Now, for me, the interview itself, it's easy. For me, the interview was easy. Guys, whenever you come in, hit that hit that like button, smash that button, the algorithm for YouTube. So for me, the Delta Airlines or any airlines, to me, interviews are easy. So because I can talk, I'm an extrovert. The only part that I do not like when it comes to Delta Airlines is that they give you the interview, which is great and dandy, and then once they hire you, I don't know you, Travis, how to do it with you, but I'll tell you how to do it with me. I did mine in JFK Airport in New York, and I was hired to send them. There was a lot of people. I would say it was 100 people. I think over the 100 people. I got hired that day, right? And they make you sign papers. They make you sign a contract. They tell you not to leave your job, but you sign a contract. You sign your W-2, your I-9. You sign all those paperwork, right? And then the one thing that I liked about it in Delta was when I was going to do JFK. The sweet thing about it is that you go in. It was a ramp agent. So you work from September, all the way from September to March, right? And then from March on, you got March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Then you off for the next 6 months. But in those 6 months that you're off, you still have your benefits. You still have your flight privileges. You don't get paid, but you have your flight privileges. So if you didn't travel those 6 months that you were working, you can take that time, those 6 months that you have, and you can work. You have your medical benefits. You still have that. Hey, what up, Rayus? So anyway, then once you sign all these papers that you sign for Delta Airlines, then they tell you got 48 hours to do an agility test, to do your blood work, and you have to do your background check. Okay. So you do I did my blood work. I did my urine test for my drug test first. Then I did the agility test. Now the agility test consists when you go to departments, each department's agility test is different from what I understand. But the most rigorous one I think is going to be the ramp agent. So for the ramp agent, they put you a metal piece right here in your chest, right? That's to monitor your heartbeat. And then they take your blood work. They take your blood pressure. Then they tell you two things. You gotta climb up these steps. You gotta start off with 1 foot, and the foot that you start off with is the foot that you land. You climb these steps for 3 minutes, up and down, up and down, up and down. Once you do that, and then you go lift up 75 pounds, right? So you lift up. Mine was 3 different racks. It was a crate with 75 pounds. So I lifted up from one rack to the middle rack to the bottom rack. Okay. Now, when you go up the stairs, this is what I tell everybody. I didn't know this, but then afterwards, when I didn't pass, I was like, I should have done this because it's the same thing as lifting the weights. When the person that's in charge asks you, okay, go ahead. So as you going up the steps, breathe in, which is only 3 steps. When you come back down, breathe out. Go on the steps, breathe in, come on the steps, breathe out. Before you take the test, do not take caffeine. Do not take nothing that has caffeine. Don't drink soda. Nothing. Forget that you're doing the agility test. Do not get nervous at all. because that's going to raise your heart rate. So just climb up the steps little by little. You do your 3 steps, go in, breathe in, breathe out. If you have to close your eyes to do it so you can concentrate even more, if he or she lets you, then fine, no problem. So you concentrate yourself more. You make sure you go up, you come down, and you control your breathing. Once you control your breathing, you're controlling your heart rate. They don't want anything over 100 heartbeats per minute. That's what I understood. Why? I don't have no idea. I passed everything, but when it came to that agility test, they say, your heart rate was at one point was at 125. And I'm like, what you're looking for? You go 100. Like, really? Just for that? And what I didn't know, what I just found out a few days ago from one of my viewers, was that if you do get denied, you could appeal. I was unaware of that. I was unaware that you could appeal. Had I known that, I would have appealed mine, because they rescind your offer, which I think it should be the other way around. The interview was based off star. Got past that. 35 people went in, and I was one of the lucky 15 people that made it for the ramp agent. Did the same paperwork and drug test. Yeah, I know. Oh, stars is easy to pass. I mean, stars is an easy test to pass. If you cannot pass stars, I mean, you gotta go. When you go to these interviews, you gotta go and you gotta tell them what they want to hear. Okay, don't over exaggerate things, but tell them what they want to hear, and that's it. And again, you do the same paperwork, but the agility test. That's what. So my point is instead of Delta Airlines, instead of doing all these tests, instead of doing the agility test at the end and making you do all these paperwork, what they should do is they should do it backwards. They should do the agility paperwork. I mean, they should do the agility first, and then they should do the background. What up, Bruce? And then they should do the background. By the way, Bruce is a new father to a baby little girl, so congratulations to him. For the Canadian Airlines, it's the same procedure for a big city like Montreal, Vancouver, Toronto, and Calgary. We also have a medical test. You have to be fluent in French and English. Well, French I understand because you live in France. I mean, you live in Canada. So, what was I? So you could do that backwards. So they should allow you to do the agility test first. So if you don't pass that test, you don't have to do all that paperwork, because you're there for a good hour, an hour and a half, just doing paperwork. Because if he like Travis said, there was 15 people out of 35. There was 15 people, so I don't know how they did it with him. But in our room, and we got hired, I think it was, for us, it was like I said, over 100 people. Only a few, I would say maybe 20 of us got hired. Not a lot of people got hired. (167/70). When I got home, I did the test. I was 117/60. What's the requirement in blood pressure? But remember, you guys cannot be nervous when you do this test. It's just a test. It's just a test. If you want to ask him, can you take some earpods or earpods with you so you don't get, because it's just, I went there and I thought I was going to ace this. What, 125 heartbeat? That's nothing. I mean, your heartbeat's going to go even higher than that when you're doing a ramp agent, because you're going to be working, taking bags here, taking bags there, and you're in the cold. You're going to be shivering, depending on the airport that you're working on. Depending on the airport that you're working in. So for heart rate to be that right, and I see 167/70, a little bit high, but not, this is 167/70. It's nothing. (140) is the blood pressure required. Yeah, but 140 over what? It can't be just 140. You gotta have the stylistic. You have to have an upper number and a lower number. Yeah, that's what you gotta ask. What does your blood pressure have to be? See, they didn't do none of that shit with me with blood pressure. They didn't. I didn't get coughed. They just, I went in there. Now I'll tell you this much: for girls, women, if you think 75 pounds is a lot, this is very simple. If they give you 48 hours, or if you got denied and you appealed and they accepted you appeal, just go to Walmart. Go to your local store. Get yourself a crate, a small milk crate. All right, go to Walmart, buy yourself 75 pounds of weight. Okay, They don't have one as one specific 75 pound. If they do, it's even better. Then you take that and you put it inside the crate and you just move it in your house. You can always take the 75 pound. I mean, you can always take the weight back. Just make sure that you have your receipt and you take it back to Walmart. You get your money back. But you take it, you put it in the crate, and make sure that you could have at least three different tiers with at least, I would say, 2 feet apart. But give it 6 feet or 5 feet, or five and a half feet, and just divide it into 3 tiers. But remember, you gotta take it up from the top. Always when you take it up from the top, put your leg back and just take it, and then use your back and put it down. But all you're doing is taking it from here, taking it to your chest, and putting it in, taking it back and putting it back down. That's all you're doing. So if you do this at your house, just make sure just at least if it's a day before, this way your arms can get used to it, because they want to see if you can lift up 75 pounds, because there are going to be bags there that are going to be heavy. Everybody is not, everybody that gets that gets hired for rampaging is not always going to be at handling bags. You could be driving the car, you could be parking the plane, you could be taking the plane out, you could be inside the conveyor belt putting on bags. So it's not necessarily you want to always be inside the plane doing the bags, but it is advised that you be able to lift 75 pounds, because they want to be able to see that you're going to be lifting up bags. And remember, this is doing this is a repetitive job. It means that you're doing the same thing over and over again. So you make sure that, I always suggest, if you get hired for rampaging, make sure that you exercise before you go to work, before you start your shift. Exercise your back, give it a good 10-15 minutes, do whatever back exercise you can get, so when you do go to your shift, your back is okay. You don't have to be rushing around or nothing like that. But yeah, so that's how you do it. So you just take the crates, like I said, 75 pounds, and just take them. And look, I have arthritis. I have real bad arthritis. I can't grab. You see right here? I can't grab. I can't even make a full fist. With this one, that's just the most that I could do. And I grabbed the crate and I put it in, I lifted it up, like I could lift 75 pounds, no problem. But some people can't. So you gotta make sure that you get a crate. I don't know, yo, Travis, did they give you a crate? How was your 75 pounds? I'm assuming, because I did mine in New York, so I don't know where you're at, or if you're somebody somewhere else. I don't know if they do it differently in that airport or that state. Yes, I know how the flight attendant works. You're gonna get paid for flying hours, but they give you a stipend, and plus, if you go as a flight attendant, you're getting paid flight hours, but you get to visit places that that you probably will never visit in your life. So I mean, rampaging is good, but you have to bust your ass, especially if you're in a major airport. If you're in a major airport, you're gonna have to work a lot. Let's say like JF Kennedy International, or LAX, or Dallas, or Atlanta. Atlanta is the biggest airport in the country, and you're gonna have to bust your balls just to work there as a rampage, and that's a lot. So you have to be continuous work. That's why it's important as a ramp agent that you maintain your back good. So I advise you that you're working as a ramp agent, right before you go to work, always do some exercise. This way your back don't go out on you. Don't think that because you're 21, 22, 30, I'm physically fit. You lift up one of those back the wrong way, and your body goes this way and the bag goes that way, your back is going to snap on you. And you don't want that. You don't want that. So yeah. So every test is so every airport, I'm assuming every airport is going to be different. Just make sure that you don't go there nervous. Don't Travis had his blood pressure high, so that is cool. But you can always get it down. Just be cool, calm, and collective. Uh, like I said, just Breathe in as you go up the steps, and breathe down. It's like if you lift up weights. When you lift up weights, you hold your breath, and when you're bringing it back down, you let go. The same thing. It's the key thing is to control your breathing. How you do it, that's up to you. How you feel comfortable. This is the way that I would do it. But that's just the thing here is to control your breathing. Control your breathing. That's the key thing here. Yeah, so flight attendant is a cool job to have if you get that privilege to fly as a flight attendant. Because like I said, you get to visit places that you cannot go. I worked with United Airlines. And United Airlines, it was kind of hard for me to fly. I only got to fly like that. It was when my father was passing away, and I went twice to Puerto Rico in 2 weeks. You get to fly for free. You get to fly standby, but you get to fly for free. But you get to go places that you probably will never be in your life. Maybe you go to China, maybe you go to Japan, maybe you go to Russia, maybe you go to Istanbul. Places that you never thought that you'd be going. You know. And as a flight attendant, you don't make much money. You really don't. Because like you said, you're getting paid by flight hours. So if they schedule you 40 hours a week, and you're getting paid by the flying hours, you're not getting paid for those 40 hours. You're getting paid by the hour. So let's say a flight's 5 hours. That's all you're going to get paid for. Is for those 5 hours. Once you get to the airport, boom, it's already done with. That flight docks. Once all those people are off the flight, you off. They give you a stipend so you can spend money in the hotel. And plus, you get to stay in the hotel for free, and that's it. And then you're off. Maybe they may tell you, well, you know what? Your next flight is in 48 hours, so you get to stay in the hotel for 2 days, and you just walk around. But flight attendant, it's cool if you're young, and if you're old and you're already retired. It's a cool job to have. You know. So if you tell me who do I prefer to hire? Do I prefer to hire a young person or an old person? It depends on the job that needs to be done. In some places, I prefer hiring older people because they're more responsible than young people. Young people today in today's day and age, they just don't want to work. They really don't, and that's sad. I'm not saying all, but from what I've seen, you go into a supermarket and you go to the supermarket and you be seeing the person like, oh, I can't wait to my shift end. And then you started working like 15 minutes ago. You gotta animate yourself and work. If you don't hustle, you stay broke, my brother and sisters. That's the way life is. You want to make something out of yourself. You want to make money in life. You gotta hustle, no matter what it is. You gotta bust your ass in it. And like I said, let's just say you get like what I use. If you get flight attending, and you work your way up. Who knows? You might be a flight attendant instructor. You might work your way up to becoming a recruiter to hire people for that airline. You get paid money. You gotta start. You gotta start. You gotta start somewhere. You know. But yeah. So that's the way it is. So don't get discouraged. Now I was unaware that you were able to to appeal your case. Had I known that, it would have been a whole different story for me. Because I really wanted the Delta airline job was really good. I mean, especially to work 6 months and then have another 6 months off and have the privilege of having the benefits of your health benefits. You don't lose that. Your flying privileges, you don't lose that. The airline can say, you know what? You're not working for 6 months, so we're not. You can't fly with us for 6 months because you're not working, so we're not going to give you those privileges. But they were so good enough that they let you fly with them. So you can say, you know what, I got from March to September, and I can go anywhere in the world. Yeah, you can go. You can literally go to Japan back round trip, depending on where you're at. I know from New York to Japan round trip was like $60, $60 round trip because you paying. If you go international, you have to pay the taxes of that flight. But if you're flying domestic with that airline that you're with, then you pay nothing. The only thing is that you have to be on standby. So when you get to the airport, you got to go on standby. There's room for you, and then you get on the plane. Canadian flight attendants can only work a maximum of 35 hours. Well, depend. That's not bad. Depending on how much they're paying you. Because if you whatever they're paying you, you multiply that by times 85. That's your paycheck. And I don't know how Canadian tax money is. So I don't know how Canadian taxes. I don't know how the Canadian government taxes you. I know here, for every dollar you make, like you get 80 cents back. Which is nothing, bro. You're making even if you're working in New York and you're making $15 an hour, still no good because the rent is so expensive. But this right here, what I have, this little studio that I have here, this is my basement, right? My basement is fully furnished. Not fully furnished, it's fully done. I have a bedroom over there. This is another bedroom. I have my laundry room. This piece right here that I have right here, this is not small. This is pretty big. But if I take you to the other bedroom, that bedroom right there, just for a bedroom, someone has the audacity to charge you $800 for one bedroom. You're sharing. You're sharing. The bedroom is yours, but you have to share the bathroom. You have to share the kitchen because that's the person who's on the lease, and it's just renting you one bedroom, not a one bedroom apartment, just one bedroom, $800. So if you're making $15 an hour, that's $600 a month. That's $600 a week. From what New York takes away from you, you're getting paid maybe like 4 and change. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16. So you're paying. You got $800 that you got to pay for rent, right? Plus you got to pay your cell phone. Plus you got to pay if you have a car, your car insurance. If you don't have a car, you still got to pay for bus or transportation. When you come down, you got maybe $200 in your pocket, maybe. Plus you got to buy food to eat, right? If you want to cook inside and you're eating outside, eating out is going to be expensive. Higher wage as a flight attendant in Canada is 25 an hour, or do you start off with 25 an hour? Now, mind you, what's the conversion rate from $25 Canadian dollars to American dollars? That's a different. Let me see. Hold on a minute. Yeah, and some people are so petty sometimes when you tell them something and they become so immature. I personally don't know people like that. So I'm trying to find. All right, so $1 Canadian equals 80 cents. So all right, so $25 an hour for us is $20.08. That's not bad. $20 an hour, and you're working $85, and you're working. So you just multiply, right? That's the calendar. So you multiply 20.08 times 85. That's 1706. So that comes down to 1706 divided into 4. That comes out to $426.70 a week. So you're getting paid basically Let me see. You get paid exactly $10.66 an hour. So it comes out to the same shit. If you're working $25 an hour and you multiply $25 an hour times 85, you get $1,700. And if you do the math, you divide. At the end of the day, a 40-hour work week, it just comes out to $10.66. Same thing about here, but it's still good. And if you got no bills, or you living in your parents' house, or you're living with someone, and they don't charge you much, so that's good. When you're starting off young, at 18, 19, 20 years old, I didn't think that getting paid $20 to $30 an hour should be, if you're living at home, should be your main concern. Your main concern should be getting your feet wet in whatever job you get in. But if you want to be the entrepreneur and you want to make that money, then you got to bust your ass. Work double shifts and work hard and save your money. And it's like I've been watching a lot of inspirational talkers. And hopefully that motivates me. I need motivation. Trust me, I do. Um, so the motivational speakers are good because they teach you how to get out of that rut, so to speak, and not to listen to everybody else. Because I was watching Gary E. I think his name is. He's on TikTok, and he was talking about the guy asked him a question about the expectation. His parents are old school, and marriage, work, and blah 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 blah. And how can he meet those expectations? And he said something interesting that's true. Stop meeting other people's expectation. Meet your expectation. You know, you can't go and say, you know what, I want to be. My parents want me to be this and that, and you go out there and you try to do it, and then you don't do it, and they'll be like, oh, well, the first thing your parents are gonna say to you is, I'm so disappointed in you. Instead of saying, at least you tried. You know, that's the important thing, right? At least you tried. But that's not it. And that's not the way it could. But always do you and and go for your expectation, not for nobody else's expectation. That does not work at all. Just do you. All right, guys. So this is it. This was for the Delta Airlines agility test. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for coming to my show. I appreciate it. Um, Hopefully, you guys, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you. Um, I know it's not easy, and I appreciate each and every one of you who have subscribed. My new subscribers, thank you. And those who, when I came in from doing the yard work today, and I saw you guys were talking amongst yourself about the Delta Airlines agility test, and that was great. Keep the flow going on, and always hit that smash button. That's what I say. That's why it's important. For a minute. Oh, that's what's important when you watching a channel, right? It's important that you you hit that like button, because you hit the like button and you stay for a channel for maybe 2 or 3 minutes and stuff like that, because that's how YouTubers get paid. Um, it's not just you have 1 million subscribers and that's it, you're getting paid. No, that's not the way it works. A lot of people say, oh, this person got 30 million subscribers. Let's say I got 30 million subscribers, but I got no views. There's nothing, because they're not paying you for subscribers. They're paying you for views. They're paying you for clicks. That's how a YouTuber gets paid. The merch that you got, That's different. But as far as YouTube is concerned, it's clicks and it's the viewing time. And when you see a commercial, you like the commercial, and you press that for that, you press for that commercial, and you let's say they're selling something, and you purchase something from that commercial, then that YouTuber gets a percentage. I don't know. I think it's 15%. I'm not sure, depending on the company, and they give you a percentage of that sale. So that's good, but you have to have a big. You have to have a big. You have to be. You have to have a big crowd. I saw a girl the other day. She had 100,000 subscribers, and she makes a good 8 to 9,000 a month. And you go look at somebody else who had 700,000 subscribers, and they come out to like 44,000. I saw this the other day with I won't say names, but with a YouTuber, he has 798,000 subscribers, but his yearly income with YouTube is from 5,000 to $44,000 a year. That's based on Social Blade criteria, you know. So that's so I was like, dang, that's working a job, that's working a job because $10, $20 an hour, you did there for 52 weeks, that's $40,000 a year. No big deal. So I write myself some messages. Look at that, King Geo. You're right, you still there? Everybody else left. Everybody else left. So I'm going to let go of this live, and then I'm going to start another live in a few seconds. But I want to talk about something else today, and I don't want that to interfere with this one. So thank you, everybody, for watching the King Geo Show. Don't forget to subscribe.